Hi, living environment friends and fanatics. You know what that day it is? It's Thursday. That means it's Hockey Jersey Thursday. Yeah, I got my brand new Devils Stadium Series jersey. I just got it the other day, right? Getting ready for the big outdoor game that the Devils are playing on February 17th down in the Meadowlands at MetLife Stadium. Anyway, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, let's go Devils. In other news, we have a Bellringer, right? Yesterday you did Bellringer, Ed Puzzle, and you did your book talk. Today we're going to move on. We're going to move on from, right? We've been doing replication, transcription, and translation, right? And now we're going to move on to the life cycle of cells, especially when we talk about replication. Why would a cell need to do replication? Well, usually because it's gotten too big for itself, it needs to split in two. And before it splits in two, it needs to make sure that each of the new cells gets the right DNA. And so we're going to talk about how cells do that over the next few days. Okay?
All right. Hey now. Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
He's interesting too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
All right, by now we're experts in the structure of DNA, right? We've got this down. We know that the double helix of the molecule has a sugar phosphate backbone, and then the rungs of the ladder are the 4 nitrogen bases. And one more time, tell me who goes with who? That's right, A with T, apples in the trees, G with C, cars in the garage. Very good. By now we've studied banana and strawberry DNA, and hopefully you got a chance to look at the DNA under the microscope and see that it's all the same. DNA is the same, right? It looks basically the same. This is strawberry, it's banana. It's almost impossible to tell which one is which under the microscope because DNA is all just DNA, right? And it's amazing to think that all life on Earth is programmed the same way with the same chemistry, right? If you think about it, that's what unites us all as living things. When DNA is in the nucleus and cells are doing transcription and translation, they're living their regular lives. They're doing, what we call the hokey pokey, what it's all about, right? So for cells, the hokey pokey is running their regular lives, making proteins, growing and stuff like that. And when you look at them under a light microscope, you can see the nucleus, right? It kind of stains all the same. Where all the stain is the DNA, right? So the DNA is like spread out in the nucleus right here, okay? But every once in a while, you run into a cell. So that cell's doing the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about, living. Every once in a while, you run into cells that are doing something different, right? They're not doing hokey pokey. You can tell by looking at their nucleus. Their nucleuses look all shriveled up and darkened and that kind of thing, all right? So those cells are doing something else. We know what they're not doing. They're not making proteins, right? What are they doing? Well, they're copying themselves, right? And that's what we're going to spend time with over the next few days. There's some onion cells, like these cells. They're regular onion cells, but these cells are definitely doing something else, right? They're copying themselves, and there's different phases or steps of copying that we need to know, okay? It starts with like the nucleus dissolving, and then you'll see chromatin turns into chromosomes, and then separate and line up and separate the chromosomes, and you wind up with 2 equal sets. All right, so we call this the cell cycle. Cells are born, they live, they grow, they do the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about, right? Then once they get too big, or perhaps it's a different signal, they copy they do replication. Then they go back to living their lives before they split in two. And when the split in two is called mitosis. Mitosis specifically refers to the division of the nucleus, not the whole cell, but the splitting of the whole cell is called cytokinesis. Mitosis, what every cell knows is, when it comes to divide, mitosis will be working inside. Cells are doing mitosis. Cells are copying themselves when you can see their chromosomes. Okay, normally we can't see the individual strands of DNA, but when they're copying themselves and getting ready to divide, they bunch them up into individual bodies we call chromosomes. this here is actually two homologous chromosomes, right? This is the original one, and then this is its copy, and they're stuck together by what's called a centromere, right? And that gives us this chromosome shape. Eventually, during the cell division, these two guys are going to split, and this guy's going to go into one cell, and that guy's going to go into the other cell. And that way, the two new cells are going to have the equal amounts of chromatin. They'll know exactly what to do. So chromosomes are only found when a cell's dividing, when a cell is undergoing what's called mitosis. We're going to have all kinds of great new vocab like chromosome, mitosis, all the stages of mitosis you need to know. Centromere, centriole, centrinole. I mean, there's tons of new vocabulary. Aren't you excited about that? More stuff to learn. Yay, learning. All right.